The Philadelphia 76ers are currently one of the best teams in the NBA. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They just got the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they've been playing at an elite level, pretty much from an entire team perspective. Joel Embiid's been on his MVP stuff. Now, although he will probably never win the MVP, he is always consistently in the top 3, top 5 of all MVP talks. James Harden's been playing very good. He's kind of reinvented himself, and I just want to get into all that in this video. And I think for sure that this team should be looked at as one of the finals favorites, or at least one of the favorites to make it out of the Eastern Conference this season. So the first thing I want to get into is going to be really the fact that the 76ers meet all the criteria when it comes to trying to win an NBA Finals. One of the biggest things that they're at least top 10 in offensive and defensive efficiencies, and that is exactly what they are, as they are the 4th best defensive team in the entire NBA this year. They've been locking everyone down, and then they're also the 6th best offensive team in terms of offensive efficiency, and historically that is a huge thing when it comes to winning the finals, as I think besides last year with the Golden State Warriors, you have to go all the way back to like the 2003 Detroit Bad Boy Pistons, or maybe 2004, to find another team that wasn't top 10 in both that won the NBA Finals. And even the Warriors, they're just a completely different level. Like, they're just one of the best offensive teams to ever play. They got extremely hot in last year's playoffs, so they're even kind of an exception as well. So historically, the vast majority of teams have to be top 10 in both offense and defense, and that is exactly what the Philadelphia 76ers are doing. And the second part of the criteria that they also meet for being an NBA Finals eligible, or not even eligible, but like legit contending level team, is the fact that they have an actual big 3. Now, this one is kind of a flexible rule, because you can either have 2 extremely good players with a very good roster built around them, or you can have 3 all-star level players, or like 2 all-star level players and 1 like MVP level player. And that is exactly what the Philadelphia 76ers have. They have Joel Embiid, who is constantly in MVP talks every single year. He is probably the 2nd best center in the entire NBA. Not even probably, he is the 2nd best center in the entire NBA. He can take over any game he is in. Then you have James Harden, who, although isn't the same James Harden he once was, he is still very good, and he's kind of reinvented himself in the fact that he is one of the best playmakers in the entire NBA, all while he can still score anytime you need him to. So he is just a very good all-around player, and definitely still at an all-star level. And then their third guy is Tobias Harris. Now, Tobias Harris hasn't really proven that he can be the 3rd best player on an NBA Finals winning team, but I definitely think that he is going to try to prove that this year in the playoffs. And he is not a bad player by any means. He is still giving them 16 points per game, 1 steal per game, 3 assists per game, on 6 rebounds per game, on very good efficiencies as well. So I do think for sure Tobias Harris has the potential to be the 3rd best player on an NBA championship team, and this is going to be his year to prove it. So the fact that they have a big 3 and are top 10 on both sides of the ball are huge pieces to being a legitimate finals contending team, and there's not a lot of teams that can say that they're doing that, and there's very even fewer that have a big 3 that are also top 10 in the NBA on both offense and defense. And then even the third part of the criteria, they have a very versatile and deep team, and they don't even really need this since they have a big 3. Usually teams with a big 3 don't have to have as well of a built team, but the Philadelphia 76ers have an extremely good built team. As if you look at what their lineup actually is, to go along with their big 3 of Embiid, Tobias Harris, and James Harden, they also have guys like De'Anthony Melton, and De'Anthony Melton is just a very solid shooting guard. He is not going to really make a bad play. He's going to give you very good 3-point shooting. He can score when he absolutely has to. He knows his role. He just plays very solid. And then their last starter is PJ Tucker. Now, PJ Tucker, although his numbers are far from impressive, especially in like the scoring category and everything, you know what PJ Tucker is going to give you: high energy, high effort, smart defender, just an overall very smart player, and you have to respect his 3-point shot, especially in the corner. He is going to knock it down if you leave him open, so he's just like a kind of pest to have to keep up with on offense, knowing that you have to guard that 3-pointer, you can't forget about him. And then also on defense, he is also going to be very solid as well. So their starting lineup is just all around, outside of their starting lineup, extremely solid. And as far as the 4th and 5th best players on starting lineups, they are at the higher end of the the league. And then even off their bench, they have very, very solid players, as they have like Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Maxey might be one of the best guards off of anyone's bench in the entire NBA. He is playing an absolute beast this year, averaging 20 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, on 4 assists per game on good efficiencies. And that is very, very good to watch, because Tyrese Maxey, say James Harden is having a bad game, you put Maxey in, he comes in, he's hot, he can score at a high level, and it just adds versatility to the roster, and you don't have to rely solely on James Harden or Embiid or Tobias Harris to score you the points, because you have someone like Maxey who can come in and get a bucket whenever you need him to. And then even if you go a little bit deeper into their bench, they have guys like Montrezl Harrell, who, although not the same guy he was when he played for the Clippers, he is still a very, very solid veteran that you can play at any time. He knows how to play at the highest level. He knows how to win. He's just a very good competitor that you would love to have on your team any given time. And he's actually a very good backup to someone like PJ Tucker. And even if you dive even deeper into their team, they have guys like Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle is one of the better perimeter defenders in the entire NBA. He's a very, very good guy on that side of the ball. Now, although he can't score the ball to save his life, defensively, he's going to lock down whoever he's guarding. And to have a guy you can have down your bench, just like, hey, you go guard this guy if he's hot, and just lock him down, to have a guy like that off your bench is very, very valuable and adds a lot of versatility to this roster, which is very important for teams trying to go deep into the NBA playoffs, especially once you start playing those elite of the elite teams. Then now once you get down to like more of the reserve type guys, they have like Niang. Niang is a very good floor spacer. He can shoot the ball. You can't leave him open. You have to know where he's at. Daniel House is a very solid guy as well. He's just one of those guys that can score. He can do a little bit of everything, just very solid. And really just overall, this team in general is very deep, very versatile, very good from top to bottom, and they're going to be very hard to deal with no matter who is playing on that team. That's just how well this team is built, and I think they deserve a lot more credit than they've been getting this season, that they need to be more in the NBA Finals contention category. And a lot of people are starting to put them there. They're getting a little bit more respect, but I think that they need to look at them as maybe a top 3, top 5 team in the entire NBA. But that's going to be it for this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think that these 76ers are underrated? Do you think they're good rated? Do you think they'll win the NBA Finals? Any of your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like to point to like button, subscribe button, and the app support me, and I hope you have a blessed day. God bless you. So you have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.